All right, everyone. Okay, welcome back here. I am your typical. Oh no! These things always fall down on me. Sorry about that. Anyway, yes, I am your typical dude sort of guy with bad handwriting. But today we are on episode 2 officially, and we are going to be explaining more about keto and the whole getting started process. Now, on the first episode, we kind of went over the reasons why I decided to do that. And just as a disclaimer here, this is by no means me telling you what to do. I am not a scientist. I am not an expert on this. I'm just sharing my experiences on keto and how I was able to lose 100 pounds. And if you feel like you want to try what I did, then go right ahead. But yeah, I'm your average, typical dude sort of guy. Mm-hmm. Boop. And I'm the kind of guy that likes to, hang out, watch horror movies, and play video games, and do stuff like art, music. Not really the gym kind of guy. To be honest with you, I used to go to the gym a lot. I used to be in weight training, and then something happened where I started thinking a lot. Just kidding. I'm not knocking people who actually like to do that, but yeah, I just kind of find it hard for me to go to a gym. I do actually work out though. I do work out from home. I occasionally will go to the gym, but I do a lot of the stuff from home. I do walking, jogging outside when I can, but it also will do push-ups. But if you wanted to do something like keto, um, you're that really doesn't play too much into the whole ketogenics thing. You can utilize um, exercise as a means to help boost the process, but you don't necessarily have to do that. That's why I wanted to call it easy lazy. Now, again, I wanted to clarify and say, look, this is not, there is no easy or lazy way. It already is kind of easy. It's just a matter of convincing you and yourself what to do and what sort of rules. Give yourself rules. And I gotta say, if I can do this, you can do this. I'm pretty damn lazy. I'm pretty damn what's the word? Oh, never mind about that. Let's talk about um, let's talk about preparations. Preparation H is what you'll need, and some ground rules. Um, and before I do that, I want to go a little bit, just a reminder, and I'm going to give you my take of what is keto, right? What is it? You know? And that is when your body goes into a state of what's called ketosis. And instead of using carbs and sugars and all that as your main fuel source, you are using now fat. And you convert yourself into a lean, mean, fat burning machine, right? So, I didn't even spell preparations right. Look at that. Jeez. Ugh, I'm so easy and lazy. Ha. I don't care. You guys get the. Okay, I'll just put prep. Just so if this kind of stuff does bother people, surprisingly. But yeah, I tend to get really excited when I talk, especially when I see a timer going and trying to keep this under a certain amount of time. Um, so I do kind of talk over myself. So feel free to pause and go back or ask specific questions on down below here. Um, so preparations is a lot of mental preparations. Are you going to be doing this? Mental, and then let's talk about the tools that you need and the knowledge. Research. Actually, I should put this as number 2. So this is number 3. So look how idiotic I am. But we'll skip it. We'll do it like that. But yeah, you got to get into the mental framework. You got to want to know, hey, look, am I going to want to defeat that? Am I going to want to become the fat burning machine? Um, so it's a lot of what's going on inside your mind, right? So a lot of times you'll think, hey, look, and the way I did it was, and again, I'm going back and saying you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about, and I hate to talk about myself, but I don't want to risk the fact to say, well, you said that I'm supposed to be doing this. You're a typical dude sort of guy. Um, I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. When I'm saying you, I'm speaking to myself here. But just because I recognize that I just said that, I want to go back and say me. Did that make sense? Sorry. I'm saying what I did. What did I do is get into the mental framework. I made it into a New Year's resolution. But I had already been thinking about this since November of 2017. I said, I want to make a change because for the past 20 years, I've been a big fat ass guy. And so November was when I was saying, okay, look, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have Thanksgiving. All right, there's no way I'm going to get into a diet before Thanksgiving, have Thanksgiving, and continue that diet. I know myself. So I waited till after that. But then, here's where it got worse. I celebrate Christmas. I'm not the most religious guy, but I do celebrate Christmas because it means family time. But I also know what comes with that is a bunch of eating. So I kept pushing it back, but I knew this time, I knew myself because I tried this before. I tried to do the diet before Thanksgiving and the diet after Thanksgiving. Failed. So I've done New Year's resolutions before, and sometimes they were somewhat successful because I got on a roll with some of them, and come February, mid-February, March, that's when I started plummeting with other resolutions. Like trying not to make stupid videos like this. And look how I failed. Sorry, guys. But this resolution was to try keto. Now, someone had mentioned it. Now I'm like, well, is that some sort of martial arts? No, bad joke. But I thought it was just one of those trendy diets. But come to find out that after doing tons and tons of research, and that's knowledge and research, I found out that keto was prescribed to people with epilepsy back in the 20s, or it was something that had been going on for a very long time. And it was prescribed for a variety of reasons, but I had to understand how exactly keto works because it sounds too good to be true, right? So I spent 2 months using my procrastination time to also do research and gather knowledge. Okay, so when I use that knowledge, I not only gathered the how exactly it works and what are the how long it takes for it to happen, or I got to understand all that basically, and I'm going to try to regurgitate that information over to you the best way possible. But then after that, it's gathering the tools, and by tools I mean the ingredients, the kind of foods, eliminating, getting rid of the stuff that I already had, and starting to prepare with the things that I started becoming my normal daily routine as far as eating goes. So again, you got your knowledge, your research, your mental preparation, and then gathering the tools. So let's write that down again here. Part of the mental preparation is the will, right? That's my will, mental prep, and then knowledge and research. And these all start going together, and then gathering your tools, right? The things that you need in order to survive. because kind of that's where you go on. If you're like me, you're like last resort survival mode here. But it's you gotta convince yourself. It's that mental preparation. You want to say, "Hey, look, I'm doing this." You already answered the why, but now it's up to you. Me. Why? Like me. Why am I doing this? Mental prep. Um, so I thought to myself, this could be very much this could very well be the hardest thing I do, and I have to uh, realize that I'm gonna hit a lot of plateaus, or I'm gonna hit a plateau or two. Now I hit multiple plateaus on this damn thing, but that's just because that's how my body works. But I had to mentally prepare myself, and I also had to risk the possibility of failure. And that was the other thing. But sticking to your guns. That's the mental preparation, growing strong from within, and then knowledge and research and finding out everything. One of the biggest sources I used was the internet. No, it was Dr. Berg on YouTube. I saw some of his videos. I saw some other videos, compare and contrast. I watched hours and hours and hours and hours and read for hours and hours about it. Also because this was part of the mental preparation, because I had to find out, look, is this thing gonna uh just like, backfire on me? You know, will this thing not work? So I was trying to find every reason, I think subconsciously, not to do it. Also, I'd say, you know what, this is a shit diet. I'm not going to go for it. It is hard. It is tough. But part of this mental preparation means that it's going to be the first step before actually going into it. Number four, or number one, is the sacrifices you will have to make. And this sounds really bad. But I'm going to touch on this on the next chapter. But I'm gonna I'm gonna go more into it on the next chapter, because everything that has to deal with the sacrifices you're making in your lazy life will pay off when you're getting into a more responsible state of mind. But your tools is like your ingredients. Now, some people, there's going to be something called they're referred to as keto strips that you could pick up at Walgreens. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is, again, my experience. I didn't use a single one. I didn't buy a single one. I was meaning to. I'm so damn lazy and I procrastinate. I was meaning to. And by the time I said, you know what? This week I'm going to go to Walgreens. It's already 3 or 4 weeks in. I'm going to buy it. But you know what? Folks, I started seeing the results already. I was already well on my way into the world of ketogenics. I was knees deep in this sucker, and there was no reason for me to buy keto strips, because I started understanding my body a lot better. So again, mental preparation, knowledge and research, tools, that's what I did. And then here is the preview to the next episode, sacrifice, okay? And that's a big one, because this was part of all this combined. And on the next episode of Easy Lazy Keto, sacrifice. We're going to talk about all the things that I just had to cut it out. Cut out. That was bad. I apologize for that, Dave Coulier. Cut out stuff out of your life, and not just foods, but habits and bad influences. That's what I had to do. And it's tough. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what ended up happening as a result of that, what I experienced. Because look, let's be honest. I live next to Austin. I live in a college town. There are nothing but bars. I'm going to go hang out at bars, drink a couple of beers, smoke cigarettes, and puff and laugh and slap people on the back and go, kind of guy. and then afterwards go to Whataburger or get some pizza, or 4 in the morning there was a drive-through taco place called La Fonda that I would get these bacon, egg, potato taquitos. Yep, all that is gone. Done. And you know what? I still miss a little bit of it. I'm going to be honest, I miss a little bit of it, but not a lot of it. Not so much that I'm going to relapse and go back into that. So for the first time in my life, I'm feeling like some weird, sense that I may be like a food addict or just some sort of thrill seeker. But anyway, we're going to be talking more about the sacrifices that I made on Easy Lazy Keto episode 3 coming up later on. So stick around. And again, I get really excited when I do these. And I tend to talk a lot. I ramble. And that's just the nature of me doing videos. And I want to make sure that I enunciate, not say every 5 seconds, and try to make it as entertaining as I can without going overboard and not acting like someone I'm not. This is the real internal me talking to you. Just a bunch of random thoughts. And that's why I write things down constantly. You should see my house. I have just scrap papers. I seem like some sort of psychotic detective, but I'm not. I am a stable individual. I work 2 jobs. I went to college, got a degree in the Bachelor's of Arts. Boo! And but yeah, very excited about the changes that I've been going through in my life, and I'm happy if you've checked this out, and if I could motivate someone to make some of these changes and on their own accord, and say, hey, well, look, this fat ass idiot did it. I can do it. Then that's cool. That's what makes me feel good about life. Because that goes a long way. I may be influencing the next president of the United States. I don't know. But those things go real deep. Those go a long way, and they're real deep to me when I say, yeah, I don't know whom I'm influencing, but hopefully it's all for good. It's all for the sake of goodness, rather. But anyway, again, we're going to be talking about sacrifice next time, the sacrifices I made. And we'll see you next time. Check out my other videos here if you've missed out on anything. If you'd like me to clarify some stuff or talk slower next time, if you got more suggestions, I got a little toy comb right here to comb someone's hair. But if you got little suggestions and you think I'm rambling too much or whatever, just let me know. And again, I don't really show too much of mine because I'm a little bit bashful. But no, I just don't really like showing myself off online too much when I'm talking about matters like this. But I can show you later on some of my old clothes before I'm in the process of getting rid of a lot of my XL and double XL shirts, because right now I'm wearing medium. But I will definitely prove that to you all. Anyway, we'll catch you next time, and be safe out there.